Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining me this Sunday afternoon for our lunchtime sign up party and cover reveal. I'm moving along pretty steadily on my next campaign, which I'm planning to launch October 1st, which seems like a apropos time to launch a ghost story, would be the month of October. And I really can't wait uh, to get this book out there. I mean, more so than just about any other book for a couple of reasons. One, over the last year, I've done very little drawing because I've been shepherding giant-sized two-fisted manly tales and acting as publisher, art director, editor, and writer on that book. I wrote two stories of the 10 that are in there. So there hasn't been whole lot of drawing and creating, and now that we're waiting on the books to come in for Two Fisted Manly Tales. Uh, I've been able to focus back on the creative end again, and drawing and focusing on character designs and covers, and that's what I want to share with you tonight or this afternoon. Is the first round of covers. I'm going to do more covers, I think, for this campaign than other ones because it's going to lend itself to it, and you'll see why when we talk about it in a minute. Uh, I have the incredible Kelsey Shannon, who really wanted to color this thing, and I really wanted him to do it. So it was a marriage made in heaven. And when he turned in the colors for that first cover, I'm freaking blown away. I got to tell you, um, it just looks freaking amazing. You're going to see it in a minute, and I'm going to tell you about some of the things we're going to be doing in the campaign as well. And I'll tell you a little bit about what the story's about too. But first, I hope everybody has their beer because we are having a Sunday party. I put my beer in this Florida Keys Brewing Company, which actually happens to be on the Matecumbe Key. It's in the town of Isla Morada, which is in that middle key section, and plays a huge part in my story. I love the Florida Keys. It's one of my favorite places to go, and I'd probably live there in a heartbeat. But Julie doesn't want to live anywhere where there's only one road in and one road out. And I make the argument. Now, bear with me and tell me if I'm not crazy here. That if there's a hurricane, because that's the big worry, uh, that and the traffic is all backed up because there's only one road. The overseas highway in and out, US 1. Uh, I said, we'll just hop in a boat, right? So we get in a boat and we head up towards Miami, get in a car, and head north if we had to. Uh, but that's fallen on deaf ears, so I don't think I'm gonna be moving to the Keys. So I have to live vicariously through vacations there and my writings. Let's say hello to who's in the group here who decided to join us this fine Sunday afternoon. Survive Infinity 0088 is here. He says, hail Graham, hail chat. Hail CG, does anyone see a resemblance of Seth MacFarlane and Christopher Pike from the Menagerie? Not sure what that's in reference to. Leg Kick 1 is here. Hello, Leg Kick 1. H is for heretic. Unlike voting for Joe Biden, you can't sign up twice for the NIG campaign. That's a shame. Maybe if they launched this in Chicago, we could do that. Man of War 665, Neighbor of the Beast says, hail amigos. Spline Jones, make mine Compass Comics. Yeah, that's it, Mr. Jones. I like that kind of talk. Stippling Vaughn is here. Oh, Stippling says he posted his drink on Facebook. Now, folks, it's fine to watch on Facebook, but really, I prefer you watch it on YouTube. The Angry Gamer is here. Hey, Graham, I know I'm jumping ahead and kind of off subject, but will you be doing 31 Days of Monsters this year? Well, I was going to bring that up in today's stream, so it seems as good a time as any to talk about it. Yeah, we're just in September 4th. Come October 1st, we will indeed be doing 31 Days of Monsters, my annual monster movie review. Every day for 31 days, I pick a monster movie and we talk about it. And that's how I started streaming. I had started 31 Days of Monsters earlier on Facebook, just as pictures. And then when I started to self-publish and stuff, everybody was telling me you really need to get a presence online on YouTube. And so I decided I would, dip my toes in with something I know about, something that I love and I'm passionate about. So I started with the 31 Days of Monsters, and developed my shtick and my presentation and stuff like that. And I've been doing it a couple of years now on YouTube. The hard part is coming up with new movies. uh, I like to show movies that I love, but every once in a while there's some stinkers there. But that's the nature of the beast, I guess. So anyway, to answer your question, yes, 31 Days of Monsters will be beginning October 1st, which is also the same day we're going to be launching the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key. Rob Brown says, yeah, but Graham, your house there, your comics would be destroyed. Well, okay, all right, Rob, you're supposed to take my side, not Julie's, but you got a point. Hurricane coming in quick, jump in the boat. LOL, Ryan Lowry says. Well, you do that before the water starts to churn up, when they tell you the hurricane is coming, you get in the boat and you go. You don't wait till the last second. That would be bad. Harold Pridemore is here. Hello, Harold. Normie Nerd says, good afternoon, Graham and chat. Some love for the 31 Days of Monsters. Good, good. Chris Thacker says, hail, Graham. All right. Okay. So, welcome, everybody. I'm glad you guys are here. So, let me tell you a little bit about what the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key is going to be. And before I do that, if you haven't signed up, please do so. I'm putting it in it's in the description of the show, but it has just now been posted in the comment section as well. So click that link, sign up. Let's get as many signups pre-launch as we can. When you do so, I mean, there's no commitment. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not like you're saying I'm buying this book sight unseen. You're just signing up for that launch day, and by doing so, if you purchase the book on launch day and you have signed up, you're the only people that will be able to get the exclusive trading cards. Those are the original design sketches of the two main characters, Misty and Meathead. So if you want those collectible trading cards exclusive only to people that sign up, please do so. And it puts you a leg up, and it will help with the campaign when we get going. I really have a strong sixth sense that this one is going to be really, really big, bigger than the others, because it touches on a few things that I haven't done in the other campaigns. One is that there's some cheesecake in it because we have Misty Fahrenheit, who is this really hot and interesting character. Horror, again, we have the horror like the Shinu because it is a ghost story. And this book is going to be the linchpin book. This is the book that is going to tie in the Shinu and Alien Alamo firmly into the Nolan verse. Oh, I got it. Looks like Hey there, Man of War 665, neighbor of the beast. Thank you for that 665 super chat. Can't stay long. Taking my uncle to Fathom Events 40th anniversary director's cut of Wrath of Khan this afternoon. Can't wait for Ghosts. Have a great stream. Thanks, buddy. That is really, really appreciated. I hope you enjoy the movie. We went to go see Jaws last night on the IMAX screen because yesterday was cinema day or something like that, where all movies are $3. So we got to see Jaws in IMAX for $3. Uh, it's amazing. It was interesting. They showed 2 trailers, one for, Black Adam and one for, Woman Warrior. Both movies look like pieces of shit. They all the they it's the same old stuff, it's the same camera angles, the same, quick cuts, the pauses are all it's like they're making movies, by, box checking, and there's no creativity, and then, that ended, and we saw this masterpiece of Jaws, and we saw really, really beautiful pacing, um, cameras that were locked down for a reason at times, uh, beautiful framing. Um, it's a shame that 1975. I'm watching a movie from 1975, and it's a much better movie than they're making in 2022. But so where was I? What were we talking about? Um, Duh, 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 duh. Oh, I was just talking about, the sign-up sheet. So let's talk a little bit about what the campaign is going to be, for this book, what the story is about this book. Uh, it's it's gonna revolve around the 2 main characters, which are, Misty Fahrenheit and Mike, Meathead Ratowski. They run a private investigation firm, and they're 2 former MMA fighters that, fell in love and retired, and, now they have this business. And Misty also happens to have a connection with the spirit world. It's just this innate thing that she's been born with. Bit of a curse for her at times, I suppose. Um, and this story is about. I I don't want to reveal too much. Is what I have to, because this is a cross genre uh, uh, story. So we have our private investigators that are investigating real crimes, human crimes, because there's a crime lord called Vincent Mantee, who's also known as the Manatee. Um, and he controls a lot of um, graft and politicians and construction and concrete, typical crime stuff on the islands. And and he also controls the drug racket. Um, and at the same time, while they're dealing with that, they're dealing with these ghosts that have cropped up. And Misty and Meathead have to figure out why these ghosts are coming out of the swamps right now. What's motivating? What's causing them? And why some of them are seeking their help. Um, are the human crimes connected to the ghostly possible crimes? Who knows? We will see. Um, but it's going to be a really fun and exciting storyline with really interesting characters, great locations. I think of these things as movies, mini movies. Um, so I think you're really, really going to like this. And as I said, this is the linchpin book. This is the book that connects um, not only the Chinu and Alien Alamo to the Nolan verse, but it's also connecting previous things. And I've sort of laid some breadcrumbs in the other books. If you go back and reread them, um, you'll see them, particularly once you know about them. You'll be able to say, "Oh yeah," you know. So I'm sneaky that way. So let's let's show you why I'm so excited about this book, because nothing speaks to you better than images. But first, let me just thank Big Raj for that Canadian $1.99 super sticker. Much appreciated, Big Raj. And thank you for coming in and joining us today. Okay, let me share my screen. As I mentioned, uh, Great Kelsey Shannon is coloring this book, and he has colored this cover. And here it is. What do you think of that? Is that amazing? It looks like a movie to me. His color choices were just absolutely incredible. So you guys are the first to see this. I posted the black and white, and I had a little snippet of their faces, but this is the first reveal of the full color. Um, the other thing I want to do with this cover um, is I want to offer it as what I'm going to be end up calling the Monster Matinee version. So if you ever remember watching the monster movies as a kid, let me see if can I make that bigger? Does that look big enough to you guys? Because I can always blow it up if I have to. Oop, too much. Oh wait, we can do this. Let's bring her down, and there we go. Brings it up a little bit. So I want to do what I'm going to end up calling a monster matinee, because I loved watching old black and white monster movies as a kid, and that's what inspired me to do all these monster comics in the first place. So this is going to be the monster matinee version, black and white. And the other cool thing we're going to do with this book is, because I'm sure it's going to do well, where the stretch goals are going to come at milestones, like at 50,000, which I think we'll hit in either the first or second day, sometime really close on this book. I want to do these logos as glow in the dark. I think that would look awesome, particularly on this book. I put the glowing, kind of ghostly halos around the logos on this cover, because it is the black and white, and I think it would look amazing. So that's the first cover. Okay. The second cover is being colored by Kelsey right now, but I'll show you the black and white for it. This is not quite a homage, but certainly a inspired by the work of Graham Ingalls, another Graham. His pseudonym name for EC Comics was Ghastly. That's why I've got my name as Ghastly Graham Nolan. He was Ghastly Graham Ingalls, and he was the biggest inspiration for Bernie Wrightson. If you see Ghastly's work, you'll see Bernie Wrightson's work. And so he had an EC comic that sort of had zombie looking things coming towards you, and I sort of adapted that a little bit for this one. And he had the circles too, but it was featuring the hosts, the horror hosts, like the Crypt Keeper, the Old Witch, and I forget what the third one was. There's three of them. So I used that for this cover, so that Misty and a Meathead would have a presence on it. But I think this is really cool. It has a lot of evocative atmosphere to it, I think. And of course, once Kelsey gets going on it, it's going to look amazing. Vault Keeper. Thank you, Nate. Or Nat, rather. Nat Palazzo. The Vault Keeper. Yeah. Okay. So I'm working on these covers right now. I'm working on some character designs. I'm finalizing my script. And so that I'll have everything ready to go, more assets ready to go for when we launch in October. There's going to be some other CG launches coming up in September. Andy Smith is launching on the 12th. Mike Barron will be launching shortly thereafter. So there's going to be plenty of great CG books coming out. So I wanted to space mine out a little bit Um, and also, uh, I just love the month of October. It speaks to me of monsters. I do my 31 Days of Monsters. This is a ghost story. I just felt like, as much as I'd like to get this out even earlier, I just felt like I gotta wait till October 1st because that'll be the coolest um, to launch on that day. So it's a Saturday. Mark it on your calendar, please, and uh, and be ready because we're gonna have a fun time going into fall this year. That's for sure. Uh, Paul Light says the grayscale brings me into it more. Definitely feels like old school horror. Yeah, definitely. That's what I liked about it. Yeah, Kelsey is perfect. Couldn't agree more. Rob Brown says, "Wow, awesome. I'm glad you like it. Very cool." Zaid Comics is here. He says, "Hail Graham in the chat. Hello, Phil." Tom Perkage reminds everybody that all the cool kids have signed up. Don't you want to be cool? What are you waiting for? No, I think he meant waiting for. Agreed. There's more cool kids out there. Come on, sign up. Let's get that. Let's get that list. I think I had 1,200 people sign up for Giant Size Two Fisted Manly Tales. And right now, let's see. Let me just see what we're at as far as sign up goes. We're over 1,000. I know that. 1,071. So we need about 200 more to beat Two Fisted Manly Tales, and I know we can do it. I know we can do it. I'm sure most of you guys here have backed Two Fisted Manly Tales. As you know, it's at the printer. We picked up on Friday all the print goods that go along with the campaign: stickers, um, bookmarks, man card, trading cards, um, the portfolios. All that stuff was printed, and we picked it up on Friday, so that's ready to go. It's sitting there um, in the fulfillment center. We also got giant 24 by 36, something like that, posters of all the Compass Comics covers to date, and they're going to hang those up in there. I'll take pictures of that and show you guys. Um, Now I can't wait for this one to get up there. But so yeah, so the fulfillment center is coming along good. We're ready to roll. I got my Gemini mailers, got our stickers, got our postage printer. We're just waiting on the books to show up, and as soon as they come, bam, they're going to go out the door. So I appreciate everybody's patience on that. In this crazy world where everything is defined by shortages, um, we just have to roll with the punches. If it's out of our hands, it's out of our hands. If it's controllable, then we do it. We do what we can. Somebody, Chud Babies wants to touch the brains. No, you don't. Neat says, "Hey Graham, happy Sunday, dude." Well, happy Sunday to you. Chud Babies, what is the secret games in Nolanverse? Secret games? I don't know. What are the secret games? What does that newsstand look like, dude? What language am I speaking? What newsstand? I don't see a newsstand. Dark Knight Cometh. Hail. Watched a live stream of Jimmy Rejas, and he had nothing but great things to say about you, EVS, and CG. Love your work. Well, thank you. That's nice of Jimmy to say so. Is there a link for slacker backers of two-fisted manly tales? Uh, you snooze, you lose. I kept the campaign up as long as I could. Uh, so no, there's no link. It is closed because I got my numbers from the printer. But the good news is that I always overprint, so I have copies to put up with the next campaign. So there'll be a limited amount available during the Ghosts of Matecumbe Key campaign, and they'll also be available on the Compass Comics website once the books are fulfilled to the backers. Backers always get everything first, as they deserve to have it. So nobody can get the stuff until after the backers are covered and stuff's delivered to them. Now, when you buy it that way via the Compass Comics site or the uh, uh, secondary campaign, you don't get any of the um, stretch goal goodies that go with it. That's again reserved for backers. So anybody that kind of isn't sure, uh, and then they decide they want it later on. It's still available, but you really want to get on board in the beginning because it's like the OJ's love train. Come on, everybody, get on board because it's a party. It's a fun thing to be a part of. uh, and you're rewarded with all the extra goodies that nobody else can get. I can't recommend it enough to everybody that you know these books are not going into stores. I'm just not willing to go with that traditional route. I know some guys are thinking about it and they're doing that and they're using Diamond. That's not for me. I want to work directly with my backers and get my stuff directly to them. I don't want to go through third party people and lose the connection because that's part of the joy. I mean, I did that working for corporate comics for 39 years. There's no connection to your fans or your backers, and now there is. Now, here we are. We're talking like we're sitting in the backyard. Some of us are having beers together. Hello, and that's very important to me. So, uh, if you want the books, you got to get them directly through the campaign or from me in the secondary market. Her and the Steadfast, thank you for that $2 Canadian super chat. I'm happy Cruiser survived. Cruiser was the little dog in the Canoe. And a lot of people, it's funny, I get a lot of comments about Cruiser that they thought up until the very end that Cruiser was dead. So, well, I guess that's a spoiler alert, isn't it? If you haven't read it. But so be it. Cruiser survives. So if you buy the book later. Ched Baby says, I'm with Compass. Attaboy. Love it. Harold Pridemore likes that black and white version. Rats, I will keep an eye out for Ghost Campaign Compass site. Just happy to support. Thanks, buddy. Well, you know what? If you haven't done so, Neith, sign up for the pre-launch. That way you'll be on the mailing list and you'll always find out about stuff because I'm always sending out like newsletters of what's coming, what's happening, and people in that on that list are the first to know everything. So of upcoming stuff too, because there's going to be another campaign probably launching in October or November for the Canoe plushie, which is going to be really cool. I want that in people's hands for Valentine's Day. There's a reason because the Canoe, is holding a little heart. But you'll find out all about that stuff. So please, please, please sign up for that pre-launch so we can get you into the database, and then you won't miss out on any of the campaigns. Spline Jones, one of my kids needs braces, so I've had to scale back backing. Graham easily made the cut. Excellent. Straight teeth and a backer. Love it. Great experience and great books. Thanks, buddy. I wonder what kind of collector's market will be created by these crowdfunded comics, considering the limited numbers that will be in the wild. Well, I think like anything, supply and demand is that, right now we're at the beginning stages of it. We're at uh, the forefront, so to speak. And I think that as these things get in front of more people, and as the audience gets broader and more books are sold, these early books that went out to a lot less people and all the goodies that went along with it are going to become collectibles. The Gemstone, the publishers of the Overstreet Price Guide, had just sent out recently to independents and crowdfunders to submit their books. So the crowdfunding books are going to be going into the Overstreet Price Guide. Um, so we can be able to keep an eye on the collectability of that. My buddy Dennis Shoemate is here. Hi, Dennis. Great shirt. Looking forward to Ghosts. Keep kicking ass. Thank you, brother. Marcus Killebrew says he thought he had signed up, but did it anyway. Good. Yeah, if you're not sure, go ahead and sign up. It'll tell you if you did or didn't. I think I skipped ahead here. No, here we go. Her and the Steadfast really enjoyed the Chinook. Thank you. Thrim. Graham, are you planning on going to the winter GSCF in January? Oh, Garden State Comic Fest in January. It's further northwest New Jersey than Morristown, like the one in July. Probably not. Um, you know, Traveling in the Northeast in January is not my idea of a good time, flying or driving. So I'm going to say, well, first off, I haven't been invited. Secondly, I'm going to say no anyway, just because it's a tough time to travel. Chris Thacker wants to know, will I be attending New York Comic Con? No, I have no intention of going to New York Comic Con this year. It's so crowded. Um, Getting in and out of the city and setting up is a royal pain. So uh, that, along with the fact that it comes at a time when I'm going to be in the throes of fulfillment, and also the promotion of Ghosts of Matecumbe Key. Um, I don't want to lose the time, you know. As any of you know that have backed my projects, I'm a deadline guy, and I work I'm working today. I was working on a cover today um, to get the stuff done. Uh, you know, if I give my word on something, I like to honor that, and I don't want distractions of going to like a big con like that and taking days out of my production schedule. New York City Comic Con requires you to show Vax docs to be at their events, I think. Okay, well, no, I'm definitely not going. I got nothing to show other than the antibodies from when I had it. There's our buddy Dr. Mask's Retro Elixir. Hail Graham, hail chat. I'm late. Can you start over? Nah, but you'll be able to pick it up. Wiley J. Draws. I've heard you and Chuck talk about wanting to work on the FF. Any chance you all will ever do a faux FF type book? I would say 0 to nil for either doing a real FF book or doing a faux FF book. Um, just because uh, I wouldn't want to do a faux one because it's fake, it's not real. I wouldn't want to do a real one because Marvel is Marvel these days, and I just love the Stan and Jack stuff. Anything beyond the first 102 issues to me don't matter. You know, Byrne had a nice run and all that, but it's not the creators. Um, so I sort of disavow anything FF after 102. Now, having said that, I just ordered the Alex Ross book that's coming out this month, that FF book. I'm hoping that he really captures the flavor of the original FF and doesn't put woke crap in it. But we'll see. I mean, I'm sure the artwork will be great. Hey Graham, I read a while back you were disappointed to finally draw Batman, but it was Jean Paul and not Bruce Wayne. How do you like Jean Paul Valet as a character all these years later? That's not true. Uh, um, because when I first started on Batman, I got to draw Batman. It wasn't until Nightfall um, that I still got to draw Batman up to the point where he got his back broken, and then we replaced him with Jean Paul Valet. Um, uh, I hated Asbats as a design element. Joe Quesada, had to draw him once, and I had to draw him like five panels a page for 22 pages for how many issues? I could have killed Quesada for that design. It's like he didn't didn't think about the guys who had to draw it in and out, day in and day out. It made no sense either from a logistical or from a point of view of mobility or anything. It was just really a horrible design, and I hated drawing it. That's the only thing I have about that. Um, but once Quest Night's End came about and Bruce returned, then I got to draw you know traditional Bruce Wayne Batman again for many issues. Uh, so New York Comic Con doesn't want to acknowledge the updated CDC guidelines. What a bunch of morons! It's New York City. What local conventions are your favorite? The Nickel City Con that's done here in Buffalo is fun. Um, I had great fun at the Garden State one in Morristown recently. That was a lot of fun. Um, there's actually more. There's It's easier to list the cons that you didn't like than it is the ones that you did because most of the people do a really good job. I don't like gigantic conventions if they're in a enclosed a district area. In other words, San Diego. I don't like going to San Diego Con. There's 150,000 people, and everybody piles out into Old Town because that's all there is. If you time it wrong, you have to wait for the train, and the train could go for half an hour. You'd be standing there waiting for the damn train to go all the way through. Um, it's just you got to start walking a couple miles if you want to get a reservation or get into the bar. It's sensory overload for me. Same thing for New York. MegaCon was the same way, somewhat, but at least in Orlando, um, there's more walkability than there was at some of those other cons. Uh, that FF book that Alex Ross did looked pretty good. I thought so. That's why I ponied up. Okay. So, let's take a look, see if we got any more people signed up here. We're currently at 1071. I'm sure people will watch the show later on. 1073. All right, we started at 1064, 68, something like that. So we're about either 5 or 9 new signups, which is great. We got some time. It's gonna, again, we're not launching till October 1st. And I'll be posting more images as they come about, sharing them to get people excited and ginned up for this. Um, so I want to thank everybody for coming in. Nobody did post what beers they were drinking, by the way, like I asked. Mine's nothing special. It's just I think a Miller Lite, but it's good for an after lunch beer. I missed you when you hit Terrificon. Oh, sorry to hear that. I had a fun time. Oh, another great show is Terrificon in Connecticut. That's a great show. It's very busy, yes, but everything's self-contained in there. Lots of restaurants and stuff in the casino, place to hang out, and that's one of the shows I do my Hawaiian shirt and cigar fest. If any of you guys in the chat have never been to one and you're at a con with me, I like to usually on a Saturday night, and if I have friends that are at the show as well, we'll host it and we'll all meet at a central location. Everybody brings their Hawaiian shirts, their cigars, and their drinks of choice, usually whiskeys, bourbons, and scotches. And then we all go find a place to hang out, talk about comics and art and sports, fishing, whatever. Whatever's on your mind. It's just very relaxed, and it's a great way, again, to interact with each other and discuss the things we love. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Isn't it about kind of sharing our passions together instead of, thinking about those things that divide us? At least that's what I'm all about. So I hope you guys are too. And let's see what else we got in here. Do I play Texas Hold'em? No, I am not I'm not a poker guy or a card guy. for that matter. There we go. Thrim is drinking an Asbury Blonde. Okay, Anti-Entity is a nice coffee. Danny D is in Orlando, and it's terrible to drive around. Oh yeah, Orlando is a zoo to drive around, um, but it was walkable for convention goers, which because of where it was, there's plenty of restaurants, bars, and stuff to walk to, which is nice. I got a lot of buddies in the Orlando, Central Florida, East Coast area of Florida where I grew up, and they all came out to Orlando and picked me up, and we got out of the city and headed to other areas to get away from some of the crowds, so we could all hang out and stuff. But we did the cigar fest and the Hawaiian shirt night, and that was a lot of fun. I still want to know what kind cheek these comic book guys like to gossip about. Do you know how valuable paper and pens are at a comic book convention? I don't, because I bring my own. Dr. Mask is drinking a staple Chatham Brewery Chessured? Chessured Past? I'm assuming that's a Czech, uh, maybe a Czech Pilsner? Was that an autocorrect? Am I going to the Vancouver Fan Expo in February? No. Mm-mm. The only con I have scheduled right now is North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Some of the other bros are supposed to go. I believe Andy Smith is going to be there, Billy Tucci. We're trying to get all the professionals at that show so we can do a live broadcast panel. So we're hoping that that can come to pass. Neat says, I'm a cool guy. Thank you for your cool guy services. Thank you, sir. Randy Howell is here. Hello, Randy. He wants to know what the signups are up to now. Okay, let's take a look. All right, we were at 1073, and we are currently at 1075. Okay, we got two more. Good, good, good. Yeah, we're only 25 away from 1100, and yeah, like maybe 150, 160 away from beating the sign up list for Two Fisted Manly Tales. Very cool. Okay. So, before we sign off, I just want to show this cover one more time. Why? Because it's so cool. I just love this cover. And I can't wait to see this as a poster hanging up in our fulfillment center. It's kind of uh, touches on a lot of the stuff I loved growing up as a kid. If you've heard my other streams, you know that I got into monsters before I got into superheroes and comics, and this stuff is my wheelhouse. And when I decided I was going to self-publish, and I had to figure out what I wanted to do, what kind of stories I wanted to tell, and I knew I didn't want to do superhero stories. There's no point in competing against Marvel and DC in that respect. They have all the big names, and trying to start something new and different and get people on board a superhero comic is seemed like a more of an uphill battle. So I wanted to touch on genres that I loved. I started with a straight up monster comic, the Chinook, and then I went to sci-fi western with Alien Alamo, and now I'm back to a ghost story. Um, so I think I found my wheelhouse, and I can. But you know what? Here's the other thing: is that all of my stories, I do say that are kind of cross genres, but they all have one element that's the same, and that's adventure. Uh, I love I love films like the Mummy's Hand. That was like the first Indiana Jones movie, in that it had this two-fisted archaeologist, action adventure guy, and he was immersed in this world of horror. I love that stuff. Ghostbusters, another one. Ghost Breakers with Bob Hope. Uh, um, Abbott and Costello Made Frankenstein. Now those are comedies, of course, but I do like the adventure element. They're not superheroes, but they're two-fisted adventurers. You know, um, doing the right thing with these horror elements around them. That's the one thing that I think you'll see consistently in my comics. Bad Crow Comics is here. He says, "Man, that cover looks awesome. Cannot wait." Thanks, pal. The Ghost of Baba Booey. I've been a Howard Stern fan for a lot of years. When he first got started, he was at Z100, broadcasting out of the Empire State Building in 1982. I was listening to him. Marcus loves this cover too. And then, oop, that's not the one. There's the one I wanted to show. This is our Monster Matinee cover with the ghostly logos. So, Yeah. So again, these are the first round. Um, there's another one, and the special guest artist who is going to be doing the third main cover is none other than horror maestro, Mr. Kelly Jones, and we all know Kelly's work. Uh, when it comes to horror, he's the king, and his stuff is great. And there's nobody I thought of before him when I wanted to get somebody to do a guest cover. Um, Kelly's the guy, had to be. So once that comes in, of course, I will share that with you guys too, and any other goodies that come along as we start to build momentum and excitement for this campaign, which I hope you guys are getting because I am super jazzed for it. I'd launch it today if I could. That's how excited I am. So yeah, I just love this stuff. I love what I'm doing. I love interacting with you guys, and I'm hoping at least that it shows up in the work. All right, before we sign off here, Neith wants to know, I'm going to work out soon. What does the co-creator of Bane do to stay in great shape? Cardio, venom. Neither. Lift weights. Lift heavy, lift often, and eat plenty of protein. Lower the carbs, and get plenty of rest too. Muscles grow when you're resting, when they're repairing, and you got to give them the protein to to build back. I hate to say build back better because we all know how that worked out. Or, as Citizen Ronan points out, cigars and bourbon. So there's that workout too, which doesn't sound like a bad idea. Actually, it's sort of like a gray, heavy day here today. I could go sit out on the porch, have a nice stogie, maybe a little bourbon once we're all done here. All right, Thrim is checking out. He says, everybody enjoy their Sunday. Thank you. Stippling Vaughn, Kelly Jones, brain just went boom. I told you guys, this campaign is going to kick ass. And with your help, we will make that a reality. So please share all this stuff with all your friends, your family. Get as many non-comic people involved in this stuff. We want to reach as many people as possible. I want Compass Comics read by everybody. And the more that you share it and talk about it to your friends, people that I don't know, and cross-pollinating, as they call that, it'll be awesome, and much appreciated. So everybody, enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Enjoy your Sunday. Thanks for tuning in, and please sign up if you haven't done so. Let's just do one more check. We're at 1075. And we're still at 1075. Okay. All right. Everybody have a great weekend. Thanks so much. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.